Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with updates on Minelaying gameplay and the Aegis Nautilus, the new Minelaying ship. This is information from the Q&A Aegis Nautilus post that answered the most asked questions about the ship and mechanics that had been gathered on a Spectrum post. It's also taking some information from Jump Point's work in progress, Aegis Dynamics Nautilus article. Between them, we actually have quite a lot of information on Minelaying gameplay, and a little bit of extra on the Nautilus. Let's start talking about mines and their maintenance. So once deployed and in use, a mine's components will start to degrade. Their lifespan is dependent on the environment they're used in, how they're used, how much they're engaged, are they constantly firing or blowing up? Obviously they can only blow up once. For example, regularly engaged weapons platforms will likely wear out and proximity mines will detonate before they degrade. So once a mine degrades over a prolonged period of time, though, they are effectively deactivated. A live but untriggered mine's lifespan is expected to be measured in days rather than minutes, though, so it's not something you have to constantly maintain, but it is something that wouldn't last for like a couple of weeks. Mine lifespan is not influenced by the state of the parent ship, though. The parent ship can be destroyed or whatever. It can be potentially boarded and someone else take it over, and it wouldn't affect the mines that were there originally. Once deployed, mines enter a pseudo-read-only state where the deploying player and ship can see limited information about them, such as expected wear and degradation levels and status. And this is going to be based on their range, it seems, as well. So mines will relay information, things like power, level, friend or foe status, and degradation back to the Nautilus or ship that deployed them, based on what ship that is. Obviously, at the moment, it's just the Nautilus. This will let players keep track of mines and minefields whenever they are in direct communication range with them. Outside of that range, though, such as if they're in a different star system, those values are then estimated based on the last data the Nautilus had available. So it will sort of like give a good estimate of what their power level should be. Obviously, if they are being engaged, if something's attacking them, if something's passing by and they're using some of their power to try and track down a target or shoot at them, then that estimate is going to be unaffected until you get back into communication range with them. That's the idea there. Inside the Nautilus, the mine control room allows the operators to see the position of where the mines will end up once they've deployed them, but they don't currently have a plan to let users pick from specific post-deployment patterns, so you're not going to be able to directly exactly deploy mines and position them perfectly. Instead, the Nautilus crew must sort of like work together to place mines in what they deem to be the best pattern given the ship's movement capabilities and the actual position of the launcher when the mine is launched. Flying at lower speeds allows for much more accurate deployment of mines, but you can't literally select where those mines are going to be pinpoint deployed, is what I'm trying to say. The lifetime of a mine is directly related to its power source. As this degrades, it reduces the mine's functionality to a low enough level that it requires maintenance for it to be visited. However, once deployed, there is very little direct control over them. Information is relayed back to the ship's owner to inform them about the mine status or best estimate if they're outside direct communication range. Mines can be hacked from quite a short range, although this sometimes will not be recommended because the mine might activate and attack you. The Nemo drones obviously are much more effective at doing that, or can do it more safely. Mines can also be disabled for a time with EMPs. Mine range and tracking. So the maximum detection range of any given mine is dependent on the components of the mine, which are just using regular ship items, basically. So it's going to be the emissions of the target, the degradation of the mine itself, and what components are on board. So there might be other types and bits you can change on mines in the future. They expect each mine to have at least a minimum engagement radius of between 5 and 10 kilometers. Obviously, this is going to be affected by the environment as well, because it's all to do with emissions and detection of those. They will pursue targets a fair distance beyond that too, to allow relatively small quantities of mines to cover a large area. As a single mine can cover a large area, a huge number of mines aren't necessary to protect a zone or asset. They don't want players having to deal with unwieldy numbers of mines. For example, the Nautilus is able to carry 24 ready to deploy mines, but it can also pick up other active or diffused mines and then redeploy them, allowing it to convert and expand potentially an enemy minefield that's already there. Any ship can detect and be detected by mines, as they use sort of like signature and radar system mechanics. Stealth ships or ships managing their signatures will naturally be harder to detect and stand a better chance of safely bypassing mines if that's what they want to do. Ships with specialized radar and scanners will find themselves much better suited to detecting mines at a distance, and obviously mines are going to be very hard to detect, but you will be able to see them visually occasionally. They're not going to be blinking red lights on them or anything. They are stealthy little items that are hard to detect and that want to explode you. You will be able to set up mines so that they have friend or foe status for existing friends or teammates or whatever, people in the same faction as you, people in the same org as you. You can basically say, don't target these people. However, players can deploy mines without any protections if they wish as well, and then I suspect they would even attack the parent ship, potentially after a certain period of time. Mines thrusters only work in 0G though, bear that in mind too. If they are deployed or end up in atmosphere, they will be unable to maintain their position, and I suspect they will effectively be destroyed or hit the ground. The mines will abort tracking a target if it's beyond their capability to intercept as well. So if a target gets too far out of range or goes far enough distance away, or the environment sort of blocks the ability to be tracked, then the mine will sort of like go back to its standby mode. Drone sharing. So the Nautilus can equip and use drones from the Vulcan and the Carrack, technically, so it can use other drones. However, it's going to lack the ability that the Vulcan has to be able to change the loadouts on those drones. That's a bay in the Vulcan, so bear that in mind. The Vulcan as well and the Carrack potentially could equip Nemo drones, the fusing drones, but don't have any means to store mines. So they would be able to go through a minefield and disable a load of mines using those Nemo drones, but not be able to pick those mines up. This is quite cool though, because this does mean that the Vulcan and other ships that can equip drones are very viable minesweepers. It's another string to the Vulcan's bow for me. Other ships in the future may be able to lay mines as part of modules or custom loadouts. The Nautilus, however, was specifically built for mine laying and mine sweeping as a focused role. Types of mines. So mines are currently planned to be size 7 items, but have the equivalent to a size 5 torpedo sort of like payload with explosions and sort of the turrets that they can also fire effectively would be a size 4 or 5 turret. This is due to various internal components that the mines have that requires them to be able to survive in space, track targets and move. There are plans for more mine types in the future. This could potentially be other types, sizes, loadouts, and more, but nothing is yet confirmed for that. Mine laying can be a crime though, so this is going to be dependent on the laws and jurisdiction of the area, as well as the authority or lack thereof of the organisation tasking you with laying mines. So you might have the UEE saying, here's a mission to lay mines around this jump gate. That would probably be legal in most areas because the UEE law, they would be like, yeah, you're allowed to do this. However, if you are in UEE space and you start just dropping mines willy-nilly, that is almost certainly going to be a crime if you are detected. You're not going to be able to place mines around UEE planets and in sort of like safe systems without repercussions. On the other hand, being tasked by the UEE to deploy or destroy mines around a jump point to a Vandal-occupied system would very likely be legal. There are all kinds of possible circumstances in between too, which inhabit various legal grey areas, but it's going to be based on what is the law of the area and why is it like that. Yeah, you could probably potentially place mines all around Grimhex if it's an entirely blackout zone, but again, I'm not sure why you'd do that. Some more Nautilus-specific updates though. The Nautilus cargo bay is purely for cargo storage and is not large enough to get mines in or out. Mines are approximately 4 meters cubed. The main mine laying system takes over half of the internal volume of the Nautilus. The Nautilus has 2 large quantum fuel tanks, as the brochure states, and not 1 as the ship matrix states incorrectly. The ship's engines can turn downwards for VTOL. The ship's internals are adapted from the Hammerhead and Idris Aegis kits, and as such they look very similar. I mean, it's all part of the sort of like branding and manufacturing bash kits and stuff like that they have. CIG refer to the Aegis Nautilus as a military-styled, medium-sized multi-crew warship, and obviously mine-laying ship. The Nautilus focuses on defensive combat and support. Defense-based combat is viable as a playstyle now, and the Nautilus is just one of many ships that they are going to have in the future that have that defensive focus. Laying mines is the perfect way to provide defensive perimeters to key assets such as a base or resource that doesn't require players or NPCs to maintain an active presence in that area. A minefield can also provide reliable coverage to a much larger area than a patrolling ship could. If you would like to know more about the Aegis Nautilus and mine-laying gameplay, please check out my video links in the description below. I've looked at a much more detailed analysis of the Aegis Nautilus mine layer, its concept, and some of the other gameplay that they talked about for the ship in previous videos. Also, if you have any questions about the Nautilus or mine gameplay, I'd love to hear from you. Do you love the idea of mine laying and mine sweeping in game? Do you feel that it's sort of more feature creepy? Do you think we'll see smaller mine layers or modules to allow other ships to lay mines in the not too distant future as well? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For September 2019, it's for an Anvil Carrack, the mighty exploration ship. It is being donated by the organisation Ultra. They are a chaotic, neutral, multi-role org where they encourage their members to focus on their speciality and find their speciality, and they provide them the freedom to play however they want. In Ultra, you're not just another drone, you become part of a family is the idea. Links below to check them out. They are recruiting. To be in for a chance of winning that ship, just comment on any of my videos made during September though. A random comment will be chosen as the winner. More details below. I am also shilling for NordVPN and Shadow gaming PCs, so use the code BoredGamer for discounts there. NordVPN, in a world of censorship and privacy issues, VPNs allow you to browse the net and play games in more safety. NordVPN has many benefits over free VPNs, and that's why I shill for it. Some of you also might be interested in Shadow cloud gaming stuff. This allows you an alternative to sort of like buying and maintaining your own gaming PC. You can stream a custom Windows 10 environment to devices like your phone, a laptop, or a crappier, lesser PC, and bam, it's fantastically powerful, and it's maintained, and hardware is regularly updated for you. It's a fantastic service, Shadow. Cloud gaming certainly has quite a big future ahead of it. If you'd like to further support my channel, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, ringing the YouTube bell so you get notifications when a video goes live. This is a channel that is funded by the community via donations, Patreon members, YouTube members, and anyone else that wants to get involved with comments and helping. Thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile. Take care, and I will see you in the verse.